John Hu, the founder of Stan, scaled his company from $0 to $30 million in 2.5 years with only 30 employees. He shares that his secret was being super intentional about every single hire he made. In this video, we'll break down his key hiring lessons, drawn from the mistakes he made through years of trial and error, so you can learn from his experience. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Be intentional about every single hire you make. John Hu believes that the people you hire shouldn't just have the skills you're looking for, they also need to fit into how you do things. Here's how he explains it. The number one mistake I see new managers or new entrepreneurs make in hiring is that early on, they're not discerning or intentional enough with the hires they make. That's why at Stan, we ensure that for every single hire that we make, we are crystal clear about the specific problem this new hire is going to solve. This way, we are able to do a dream candidate profile exercise. Essentially, this involves figuring out what your ideal candidate looks like, what work they will be doing, what they are good at, and the qualities they have that complement you. Once you do this, it becomes easy to come up with really specific, concrete qualities that will guide you to create a custom job description that will attract the exact type of candidates you want. Lesson 2. Be proactive when sourcing candidates. When it comes to candidate sourcing, John Hu shares the methods that have worked for him. Here's what he says. First, you have to be proactive and personally reach out to potential candidates. For instance, try sending cold DMs on top candidate sourcing sites like LinkedIn. Secondly, leverage your network. While the people you interact with on a daily basis may not be your ideal candidates, you can ask them for recommendations or referrals to the smartest person they know, who would be a good fit for the role you're looking to fill. Lastly, consider working with external recruiters. Find a firm that already has a pre-established network in the industry you're hiring for, and they'll immediately know the best people to call. Lesson 3. During interviews, ask questions that are directly relevant to the role you're hiring for. To explain this point, John Hu describes how they achieved this at Stan, saying, "We come up with a standardized list of questions that we can ask every single candidate, and then we're able to review their answers. For instance, if we are hiring a product manager, we care about their sense of design and visual aesthetic. So we'll ask them questions like, can you walk us through some of your favorite products or brands from a visual design perspective? Such a question will help us determine if your visual tastes align and also help us vet whether or not this candidate can break down design aesthetics very well. In short, during interviews, ask questions that reveal how a candidate thinks and works in the context of the actual role. Lesson 4. Be honest about what the candidates should expect once they're hired. John Hu believes in being upfront about the realities of a role, even if that means some candidates might walk away. Here's how he explains it. I also try to scare people off from the job a bit by painting the hardest and toughest picture possible during interviews. For example, I'll sit them down and ask if they're prepared to work 60 to 80 hours a week. I do this because I think it's important to give people an honest picture of what's expected, so they can decide whether or not they'll truly thrive in the role. Lesson 5. Don't rush the hiring process. John Hu admits that in the early days, he often felt rushed when hiring and ignored the classic advice to hire slow and fire fast. Here's how he explains it. I was so eager to get help and build a team that I just said yes to anyone interested in working with me. But what you learn over time, after making a lot of hiring mistakes, is that it really pays off to be slow and intentional. The reason great companies eventually decline is that over time, if you're not deliberate about your hiring process and focused on raising the bar and keeping it there, you start to see a gradual degradation in the quality of your team. Lesson 6. Test for fit with a trial period. John Hu recommends running a short trial before making a full-time hire. Here's how he puts it. Whenever you're thinking about hiring someone, if there's an opportunity to set up a short trial period, take it. It gives both of you a chance to see what it's like to work together and to produce a tangible work outcome by the end of that period. That's the best way to build conviction that this person can actually do the job you're hiring them for. Lesson 7. Verify a candidate's reputation through back channels. John Hu believes that one of the best ways to predict a candidate's success is by learning how they performed in their previous roles. Here's how he puts it. Do everything you can to find a back channel reference because learning about how someone performed in their previous roles is one of the highest quality indicators of whether or not they're actually going to excel in the job. So here's a quick recap of John Hu's hiring lessons on building a great team. Be intentional about every single hire you make. Be proactive when sourcing candidates. During interviews, ask questions that are directly relevant to the role you're hiring for. Be honest about what the candidate should expect once they're hired. Don't rush the hiring process. Test for fit with a trial period. Verify a candidate's reputation through back channels. And if you want to consistently hire top talent, I highly recommend you check out WorkScreen. The link is in the description.